too. I don't get. I done told y'all the situation, and I'm fucking know the situation.
Yeah,
man, my house,
my
motherfucking house stay full of cheering, man. Hey, I'm just out of that face. I'm out of that stage of posting it. You want me to show every time I'm with him? It don't matter. Hey, it don't matter if a house full of hoes in this. Hey, I got cheering running around these.
Some of them running around. And a couple of them
having with me. Man, I know you can't. Hey, I know you can't play me like that, boy. Watch what you say. That camera on.
Clear on what you're asking for, but it looks like you're referring to NBA YoungBoy addressing rumors on Instagram Live. He was defending himself against snitching allegations and clearing up misunderstandings about his legal case. In response to rumors about cheating and being involved in the snitching, he mentioned that he couldn't just post every girl he's with because he was newly out of jail, and also clarified that his case was never actually dropped, denying the snitching accusations. NBA YoungBoy ranted about how all police are criminals, claiming there's no evidence against him. He expressed frustration, making it clear that he had bigger things on his mind than the rumors. It was obvious he had heard the snitching allegations, originally raised by another rapper. On No Jumper, the well-known Richard shared a post accusing NBA YoungBoy of cooperating with the feds. The Instagram post read, "YoungBoy is telling. This is his third time being released from federal custody in just 4 years, facing all new charges. On King David, you can't do 10 months of a 23-month sentence. My first offer was 5 years for a firearm the police planted on me. YoungBoy is definitely working with the police and might even be the reason Lil Durk is locked up." The post was accompanied by a viral clip of NBA YoungBoy casually walking around, adding fuel to the allegations. Honestly, I kind of see where they're coming from. The timing, the vibe, everything feels just a bit too lined up. It's not unheard of for people to play both sides, and in this game, alliances are murky. You never truly know who's aligned with whom. If we're talking about whether NBA YoungBoy really snitched, the only real clarity comes from the court. Records. When he was released from jail, he'd show up at the courthouse sharp at 9 a.m., and in one wild moment, a superfan actually hacked into the court's Zoom session just to scream "Free YoungBoy" at the judge.
Remember, my other than that, man, the rest of them trying to stay in my house, man. Stop playing, man. All the police are criminals. Everybody case drop but mine. What they tell you? Them busy got some modern day shit going on, man. Them ain't got no evidence on me, ain't got shit, but want to keep a pen down. And they whole mother law enforcement are criminals. I got way more shit on my mind every day than what you talking about, man. Man, give me some.
NBA YoungBoy, who was only standing outside the door, could hear the fan's voice. He walked in smiling and laughing, but once inside, he had to sign a legal document acknowledging that he understood English and that his education only went up to 8th grade. By the way, if you've completed more than 8th grade, hit like. But did you know there's a possibility that YoungBoy might return to jail, just like he said in his IG Live? His case hasn't been dismissed yet. His release file reads, on March 10th, 2021, YoungBoy was arrested and charged with possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, as well as possessing an unregistered firearm. This occurred while he was outside shooting a music video with several others. YoungBoy's friends were blasting music and dancing on top of a car in a random neighborhood. This caught the attention of a nearby woman who, worried about what she was seeing, called the police. She described the scene, saying several men were dancing around while holding firearms and standing on the car's hood. The police responded quickly, arriving on the scene and recognizing YoungBoy right away. They immediately rushed over and detained him.
Yesterday at court, the body cam footage of the officer who put the cuffs on YoungBoy back in September during that music video. The cop comes right up to him, whatever, he puts the cuffs on him. And then YoungBoy's reaction is kind of hilarious. I thought it might be interesting for y'all. He was like, yo, big dog, man, what you doing, man? Why you putting these cuffs on me? That's what he was calling the cop. He was calling the cop big dog. He's like, big dog, you up right now. I didn't do nothing. You can search me. I got nothing on me. Cop doesn't listen. Cop puts him in and the whole time YoungBoy's like, yo, man, what you doing, man? Big dog, why? And it really goes to show you a lot about this case. YoungBoy didn't think he did anything wrong. He didn't think that they were going to go and start taking footage from music videos and said, you held a music video and you're a felon and that's a federal felony and you're going to face 3 to 5 years. No, and it really shows you that these federal laws, as applied to kids like NBA YoungBoy from the hood, are extremely unfair and extremely punitive, and we need to take a good, long look on what's going on.
As YoungBoy was being handcuffed, his cameraman tried to delete the footage of the music video, knowing it showed him with a firearm. However, before the deletion could happen, the police seized the camera, giving the feds video evidence of YoungBoy holding a weapon. In an effort to get the firearm possession charge dropped, his lawyers argued that the police had taken the camera unlawfully. Unfortunately, that argument didn't hold up in court. It was soon announced that YoungBoy had lost. His appeal with the feds and the prosecution could now use the footage against him. An update on NBA YoungBoy: he lost his appeal in the federal appeals court, but he still has the option to take it to the Supreme Court. The lower court had ruled in his favor initially, stating that the video showing him holding what appeared to be a firearm should be suppressed. The court ruled that the evidence couldn't be used against him, stating that the way the government obtained it violated his constitutional rights. But then, the government took the case to the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals. The Fifth Circuit reversed the decision, allowing the government to use the evidence in the case. Realizing things weren't going in his favor, YoungBoy knew he had no choice but to accept a plea deal and move forward. Just before the judge officially sentenced him, he shared a positive message with YoungBoy, emphasizing how addiction had robbed him of his talent and potential. The judge wished him the best of luck when he got out of prison, saying, "I've seen so many good men and women, full of talent and potential, lose that potential when they struggle with their issues. I don't want that for you. You're clearly a talented young man, and I'm hopeful that once your time in federal prison is over, you'll find success on federal probation. I believe you can achieve your full potential in all areas of life. Best of luck, Mr. Golden." Thank you, YoungBoy responded. "That's all I have," the judge concluded. "You may be excused." Thank you, Judge. Thanks to everyone." After being sentenced to 23 months behind bars, it seemed like a challenging journey ahead for YoungBoy. However, just a few months later, the judge would announce, "I've wrapped up YoungBoy's case. He received 23 months, but due to credits from another case in Louisiana, he should be out in 3 to 4 months." On March 3rd, Rich the Kid sat down with DJ Academics for an interview, where they both agreed that YoungBoy's release was imminent.
On NBA YoungBoy, he lost the appeal with the federal appeals court. He can take it up to the Supreme Court. What happened? So the federal judge, the lower court, ruled in his favor. She said that the video of him holding what looks like to be a is suppressed. It can't be used at trial against him. The way you guys obtained it, you violated his constitutional rights. Now, the government went to the Fifth Circuit, United States Court of Appeals. The Fifth Circuit said, you know what, we have a different decision, and we're going to say that the government can use that evidence. It is going to be allowed.
NBA YoungBoy was officially released just a week after the podcast aired, but his freedom wouldn't last long. The police made a desperate attempt to keep him behind bars by bringing up the death of J.D. Young, since both were from Louisiana. They suggested that J.D. Young had been in a serious feud with YoungBoy before his passing. The investigation revealed that J.D. Young had initially praised YoungBoy in an interview, saying they would be making music together soon. "I'm a fan of YoungBoy's music. We're going to collaborate and represent our state. I think it'll be one of the hardest collaborations ever." The two dropped their song Up With Me, but later had a fallout. The drama began when J.D. Young posted a snippet of an unreleased YoungBoy song on Instagram. YoungBoy responded in the comments demanding, "Delete this right now. I don't even know how you got my song, and I don't mess around like that." J.D. Young defended himself, saying he wouldn't tolerate disrespect. "I'm real, and I stand on everything. Ain't no one gonna play with me." In his song 38K, J.D. Young included lyrics aimed at YoungBoy. "You put that comment on my post and laughed about it, but I was laughing when your baby mama was on me." Soon after, photos surfaced showing J.D. Young hanging out with one of YoungBoy's baby mothers. In response, YoungBoy claimed J.D. Young was trying to catch him lacking on the streets, saying, "You be hiding, we real headhunters, man. Come on, man." The FBI couldn't find any solid evidence tying YoungBoy to J.D. Young's death, so they focused on an out-of-state case YoungBoy was involved in. Their final effort to keep him in prison involved surveillance, with agents even staking out his Louisiana mansion. A few years ago, they watched as YoungBoy opened the gate to his property and drove off. The FBI followed him onto the highway, initiating a high-speed chase. Initially, YoungBoy complied with the request to pull over. But when the agent behind him stopped and turned off his vehicle, YoungBoy turned his supercar back on and sped off, weaving through traffic and exiting onto side streets. Once he created some distance, YoungBoy got out of his car and started running, despite wearing designer shoes, skinny jeans, a jacket, and diamond chains. It wasn't long before he found himself hopping a fence and sprinting through a fan's backyard. The fan caught the chase on camera, telling YoungBoy to run faster. Unfortunately for YoungBoy, he was soon surrounded by police and taken into custody.
Drake YB Dirt right now. And I ain't gonna lie to you, because I was even looking at my Spotify like recap. Yo, I think hip hop is due, like, YB has to stay out of jail. Yo, we're thirsty for his. There's a
Yeah, March, right?
yeah, it's
Nice, man.
more music with him.
Wait on it. Wait on it.
The charges against YoungBoy were serious, ranging from high-speed racing to resisting arrest, among others. The out-of-state judge didn't go easy on him, but with millions of dollars at his disposal, YoungBoy hired one of the best lawyers around. He was granted a bond in California, set at $540,000. He put up $500,000 in cash and, as collateral, 2 properties valued at over $1.5 million. Additionally, he was required to wear an ankle monitor, though he wasn't on house arrest. The bond, as set by the California judge, simply required him to wear the monitor, and he was free to travel. The judge believed these conditions were sufficient, and given that both the California and Louisiana judges were looking at the same facts, it seemed unlikely that the Louisiana judge would find any reason to disagree. While the laws may vary slightly between circuits, it would be unusual for a Louisiana judge to rule differently, especially when the California judge had already approved such terms. Despite his criminal history, YoungBoy was able to secure a plea deal, receiving only 23 months for the firearm charges. However, the feds are still pushing to send him back to prison, arguing that the sentence he received wasn't enough for him to fully understand the severity of his crimes.